investment. But now question is, what is this cost of production? Who calculates cost of production? Who recommends cost of production? The Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, CACP, for Agriculture Cost and Prices, actually calculates cost of production. And please understand this, I'll just slightly enter into optional level. I will slightly enter into optional level. There are different types of cost of production calculated by CACP. We have A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, C2 is there, C2 star is there, etc. So I hope you understand there are multiple types. There are multiple types of cost of production. But for UPSC, please do not worry about all of them. You can check. None of the books will actually cover all of this. For only optional level, all of this is required. So for GS paper 3, what is actually required? These three simple concepts are required. One is A2 cost of production. Second one is A2 plus FL. Third one is C2. Okay. So one is A2 cost of production. One is A2. Second one is A2 plus FL. And third one is C2. Right? These three more than sufficient for UPSC paper, GS paper 3. Now let's start. What is this A2? What is A2 plus FL? And what is C2? Let's start. Imagine I will quit teaching. I will go to my hometown and start farming. Imagine, I'm not doing it, but imagine. So imagine I'll decide, okay, teaching is not for me. Anyways, how much ever I teach, students will keep on arguing that economics is difficult. So I will decide, okay, enough is enough. I'll stop. I'll go to my hometown, start cultivating, start farming. Now, point number one, when I start cultivating, will I spend money on inputs? Let me know. Will I spend money on my inputs? Of course, answer is yes. Nothing is available free. Something has to be spent. Sir, what do you mean by inputs? What about expenditure on seeds? What about expenditure on irrigation? What about expenditure on labor, etc.? Right? And let's say hypothetical numbers: seeds, irrigation, labor plus fertilizers. I will throw in arbitrary numbers here just to make you understand. Imagine the cost was seeds 100 rupee, irrigation 200 rupee, labor 400 rupee, and fertilizer 300 rupee. And I'll take a very simple number here. Imagine I will use 2 units of labor. 2 people per day, I'm paying 200. That will become 200 into 2. So now please do let me know. Can I say sum total of all of this is 1000 rupee? Is the logic okay? Sum total of all of this is 1000 rupee. So whatever is this calculation, this is called as A2 cost of production. This is called as A2 cost of production. Meaning what? Please have a look at it. The A2 will cover all the input expenses incurred by the farmer on seeds, fertilizer, labor, power supply, and water. And in this example, how much is A2 cost of production here? Please do let me know. How much is A2 cost of production? 1000 rupee. All of you okay? Now next point. When I am cultivating on my farm, along with the 2 people whom I've hired, I will also work on the farm. Correct? Anybody has a problem? I will also, along with the 2 more people, I will work on the farm. My spouse will also work on the farm. Although she will not be happy, that she'll keep on complaining against me, cribbing against me, right? From that state, you have brought me to, right, farming activity now. But she will also work. So I am working on the farm. My wife, my spouse is also working on the farm along with 2 labor. But think of it, at the end of the day, I will pay wages only for the other 2 people. Will I pay wages to myself? Has anybody seen that happening? Will I pay wages to myself? Will I pay wages to my spouse? No. Right? Imagine doing that. Right? And then kind of scoldings will get. So what is the logic here? In case of A2, we have paid money for the labor, but we have not counted how many family labor units I've used. How many family labor units I've used, I've not used that in the calculation of A2. So imagine I will pay myself 200 rupees because I also have worked, and I pay 200 rupees to my spouse also because she also worked on the field. So total now, can I say 1000 rupee plus family labor? 1000 plus family labor will be how much now? It will be 1400. Anybody has a problem? Right, 1400. Now can I call this 1400 as A2 plus FL? What is FL? FL is nothing but family labor. Can I call this 1400 as A2 plus FL, family labor? So, right, I hope you understand this now. Second one is A2 plus FL. FL is nothing but family labor. Family labor is used, but we don't pay wages to family labor because we are working on our own field. This was not counted in A2, but will be counted in A2 plus FL. And remember the next point, this is very important. Whenever government announces MSP whenever the government is announcing MSP, generally they will use A2 plus FL. Whenever the government, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs announces MSP, they will use A2 plus FL. They'll say 150% of A2 plus FL. Which means, can I say, according to this example, if I cultivate this crop, give it to the government, then government will give me 2100 rupee. All of you are okay with this? If I cultivate this crop, for which MSP is right 1400, assuming MSP policy covers this crop, I'll get 2100 from the government. All of you are okay? Now, let me go to the third one, C2. C2. Most comprehensive between all the three. I repeat, most comprehensive between all the three. Sir, how 2100? My goodness. My dear, please use the calculator. 150% of 1400, you tell me how much will be that number. Right, 150% of 1400, you tell me how much will be that number. You will get the answer. So let me go to the third one, C2. Right, third one is C2, concept of comprehensive, one more type of costing, C2. Now what is this C2? C2 is much more bigger, much more comprehensive. What CACP says is, I will consider all these expenditures. How much money was paid out from my pocket on seeds, fertilizers, right? Plus labor, plus family labor. But in addition to all of it, I repeat, in addition to all of it, what if, understand this, what if I take a land on rental basis, I will pay land rent. Think of it. In addition to all of this, imagine the land I'm using for cultivation, it is not my own land. I've taken the land on rental basis from somebody else. Right? I did not count land rentals earlier. So I will add land rentals now. What if I spend 100 rupee to purchase certain asset rather than keeping 100 rupee in the bank account? Am I foregoing interest on it? Please participate now. I have 100 rupee. I will use the 100 rupee to purchase an asset for the land rather than keeping 100 rupee in the bank account. Am I foregoing interest on it? Of course, yes. So interest that has been foregone, etc. Some of you are saying no. Oh my dear. If you have 100 rupee, rather than keeping it in FD, you will use the 100 rupee to purchase something else. Is it not opportunity cost? Is the interest not opportunity cost for you? Think, no, we have discussed opportunity cost in the first class. So argument is land rentals, earlier they were not counted. Interest on capital assets, they were not counted earlier, but all of these are the expenditures. So that is the reason, look at C2 now. C2 in addition to everything else, right? Expenditure on seeds, fertilizer, family labor, other labor, irrigation. In addition to all of it, I will consider other expenditures such as interest that have foregone on my capital assets. or land rentals that I've paid because I'm using a rental land, all these expenditures will also be counted in calculation of C2. Now, based on this, can I simply say, C2 will be bigger than A2 plus FL? Think of it. Based on this, can I simply say C2 will be greater than A2 plus FL? And can I say A2 plus FL will be bigger than just A2? A2 plus FL will be bigger than just A2. Right? So remember, three cost of productions are there. In fact, again I'll repeat it. Just optional point here, optional point. Not just three, there are many more. A1 is there, A2 is there, B1, B2, A2 plus FL, C1, C2, C2 star, C3. Multiple types of cost of productions are there. Do you need to read all of them for UPSC GS paper? Not at all needed. Only three are mentioned in the newspaper. These are very famous. Please remember it. Government announces based on A2 plus FL, 150% of A2 plus FL. But remember one more committee recommendations. One more committee recommendation. There is Swaminathan committee. There is a very old committee, Swaminathan committee. I'm pretty sure all of you heard of Mr. M.S. Swaminathan. Correct? All of you, I'm pretty sure you've heard of Mr. M.S. Swaminathan. Sir, where in UPSC nobody has told us high school. High school, not now, but at least high school. Who is the father of Indian Green Revolution? Who is the father of Green Revolution? M.S. Swaminathan, right? So that's the reason. Right, so Swaminathan committee recommended that government should announce MSP based on C2, not A2 plus FL. But basically, even today, government announces on A2 plus FL. Okay, so these are the three types of cost of production. Please be very, very careful. Questions have been asked earlier also by UPSC, can be asked again by UPSC. Now, let me go forward. What if government will provide a legal validity to MSP? A legal bill, a law will be introduced by MSP, for MSP by the government. What is the advantage? What is the concern? I am doing a critical evaluation. Please listen to me very carefully. Point number one. Right now, government procures a very few crops out of all the 23 crops. Now imagine government will legalize MSP, means bring in a law and say that government will procure all the crops. Please tell me, will it provide benefit to more farmers or not? Think of it. Will it provide benefit to more farmers or not? Right? Of course, yes. Now, point number two. Please understand this very carefully. There are two concepts called as a surplus state and a deficit state. Surplus state and deficit state. Now, what do you mean by surplus state? Let's imagine government is providing 5 kgs per person and there are only 10 people for whom the food grain should be given in the state 1. I repeat, listen to me very carefully now. Imagine government is giving 5 kgs per person in state 1 and there are only 10 people who are supposed to receive the food grain. So can I say government will require 50 kgs of food grain in state 1? Government will require 50 kgs in state 1. Second state, imagine there are 20 people who are supposed to be given 5 kgs of food grain, which means government should get 100 kgs of food grains, should have 100 kgs to provide to the beneficiaries. But what if I were to say, production of this crop in the state 1 is 200 kgs and production of this crop in the second state is only 20 kgs. Production of this crop in the state 1 is 200 kgs and in state 2 it is only 20 kgs. Now please look at the numbers and tell me, can I call state 1 as surplus state? Let me know. Please look at the numbers. Right? Don't look at me. Please look at the numbers. Can I say state 1 is a surplus state? And can I call state 2 as a deficit state? And don't you think government will be more focused on purchasing more of crops from the surplus state, moving them to state 2. Arey Baba, how 200 kg production? Production is 200 kg, right? That's the reason I asked you to listen to me very carefully before I start explaining. I said production, let's say it is 200 kgs, right? So can I say state 1 is surplus? So government will be more focused on procuring in second state rather than first state. That is the importance. That is the importance of surplus and deficit. Will provide guaranteed returns to the farmers irrespective of whatever the market price is. Farmers from other states will also get the benefit now. Rather than being focused only on the surplus state, all the states will be focused now. It will address the issue of farmer distress. Lot of farmers are taking loans, cultivating. Market prices have crashed. They will take another loan. They will fall into lot of debt. Coverage of the farmers. Coverage of the farmers. That is how much money they will earn. How many farmers will be covered under this? Right? Overall India, the coverage of the farmers will be improved because of this. These are certain advantages. Having said so, are there any issues? Are there any concerns regarding this? Point number one, if government will start procuring all the crops, what will happen to expenditure burden for the government? What do you think will happen to subsidy burden for the government? Subsidy burden will be very high. That's a problem. Second, if you start procuring all these crops, what will happen to agreement on agriculture 10% limit? Right? What do you think will happen to, right, the burden, right, for government of India plus, right, 10% limit under agreement on agriculture? You will start violating that also. Third one, if government will purchase all of it, where will they store? Think of it. Where will they store? Because next we'll discuss, most probably tomorrow we'll discuss this. We do not have sufficient storage capacity in India. That's a fact. We do not have sufficient storage capacity. So where is the storage availability? Where can they store? That is also not possible. Next, please think of it. Imagine you're a farmer. Okay. Imagine, please think of it very carefully. Government says guaranteed any crop which is covered under MSP, any crop guaranteed, I will give you 40 rupees per kg. I will give you 40 rupees per kg. Now you tell me, if government is guaranteeing you 40 rupees per kg, will you sell it to anybody else in the open market at less than 40 rupees per kg? Think of it. If government says any crop under MSP, don't worry, bring it to me, I will give you 40. Will you sell it at less than 40 to anybody else in the market? No. You will sell it at 42. You will sell it at 45. You will sell it at 46. Which means the traders in the market. Trader means middleman. Middleman who will purchase from the farmers, sell it to us. Sell it to me. Sell it to you. Sell it to your relatives. Those traders, now can I simply say, they will have to pay more money for it? Is it okay? They will have to pay more money for it. And if they pay more money, what do you think will happen to food inflation? What do you think will happen to price burden on the customers? Buyers in the market. Don't you think food inflation will start increasing? Burden on the customers will also start increasing. Done? Right? So that is basically the impact all of it. Impact of all of it. In fact, please understand this. Right now itself, there is always a concern that whenever government increases MSP, it might have an impact on inflation. You can check it. RBI governor has stated this a couple of months ago. Whenever government increases MSP, it might lead to certain impact on inflation. How so? If government will increase MSP, farmers will sell more of their crop to government of India. All of you are okay with this? I'll repeat it again. If government increases MSP, farmers will sell more of their crop to government of India because they want to get MSP. And if they sell more of their crop to the government, what will happen to supply in the open market? Supply in the open market will go down. And if the supply will go down, what will happen to market prices? Market prices will start. increasing MSP to very high level, it might contribute to inflation in the domestic market. Done? And finally, right, how will the MSP decided? How is the government going to decide MSP? Please tell me, if you're a farmer, would you want to get 1% of A2, A2 plus FL or C2? If you're a farmer, would you want to get 150% of A2, A2 plus FL or C2? All of you should be very clear now. Sir, I want to get 150% of C2. So question is, if government will provide a legal MSP, legal backing to MSP, will they provide 150% in the first place? What if they will say, okay, I will give you legal binding MSP, but now I will give you 100% of A2? Tell me, will the farmers get the benefit? Government says you want a legal guarantee. Okay, I'll bring MSP law and I'll give you legal guarantee, but I will give you 100% of A2. Right? So I hope you understand how the MSP will be decided. On what basis the government might announce MSP once it is legalized, that will also have an impact on, right, the earnings. So these are certain very important concerns or issues as well as advantages regarding the MSP, legal backing to MSP. Why we are considering traders? They are anyhow profit also, they don't have any input, my dear. You will not purchase wheat directly from the farmer. Please do let me know. When you purchase any product in the market, do you think the farmer is going to sell you directly? Will you not purchase this wheat through more superstore? Will you not get this rice from, right, the seller in your locality? That's the reason middlemen are very important. Right? If they purchase at a higher price from the farmer, they will sell it at a much higher price, right, to the consumer. That's the point I'm making here. Okay. Food subsidy. Next, how farmers from other side will get benefit? My goodness. My dear, do you listen to the point when I said right now government is more focused on procurement from surplus states? That's the reason you will have to listen to me very carefully. If you keep on asking, repeat this, repeat this, repeat this, if I keep on repeating everything, it will take 1 year to complete GS paper 3 economics. Trust me. Even then it will not get over. After 1 year also, you'll say, repeat it. Right? So I said, right now, the focus of Government of India is on surplus states. Right? Focus is not so much on deficit states, it is on surplus states. If government will provide legally guaranteed MSP, irrespective of whether this is a surplus, a deficit, whether it is crop A, B, C, doesn't matter. Because it is legally guaranteed, you will be able to sell it to government. All the farmers will start getting the benefit. Okay. Next concept of food subsidy. What do you mean by food subsidy? I'll come back to this. Just give me some time. I'll come back to this. Let me finish up NFSA first. Then I'll go back to food subsidy. What is NFSA? National Food Security Act. It was introduced in 2013. It was introduced in 2013. NFSA was introduced in 2013. Under NFSA, Government of India says the beneficiaries will be identified. That is 2/3 of total India's population will be identified, and these beneficiaries will be provided food grains at subsidized prices. I will repeat the statement. We are going to identify the beneficiaries, and these beneficiaries will be given food grains at lower prices, subsidized prices. And to do that, to basically distribute the food grains, we will have a system of shops which is called as a public distribution system. Public distribution system refers to connection. Basically, the connection of all these fair price shops, ration shops, which has been created to procure and distribute food grains. For example, follow the system now. Step number 1 is farmer will cultivate the crop. The government, that is Food Corporation of India, will procure the food grain from the farmers. And when I say procurement here, there are two types of procurements which are done. Please follow this carefully. One is called as a decentralized procurement. First one is called as a centralized procurement. Second, centralized. What do you mean by centralized? Food Corporation of India, either directly or through the state government, will procure food grains and then distribute it to different states. I'll repeat it again. Food Corporation of India, either directly or through state government agencies, will procure food grains. This is called a centralized pool. They will purchase the food grain and then will distribute it to different states. This is called as centralized procurement. On the other side, what is decentralized? State government will procure means purchase. State government will purchase, store and distribute food grains. Don't say both are one and the same. Listen very carefully. Centralized Food Corporation of India, either directly or through the state agencies, will procure and then distribute the food grains to different states like this. Whereas in case of decentralized, state government itself will purchase, store and itself will distribute the food grains. That is a decentralized. And for whatever activity they will do under decentralized, for whatever activity the state governments will do here, central government will provide money for them. Right? Central government will give them money. That is how centralized and decentralized activities are conducted. Now come back to the point here. Farmer will cultivate. The government through agencies will basically procure the food grains at MSP, and if there is bonus, they'll pay the bonus as well. The state government will get the food grains from the central government. Now state governments will set up fair price shops throughout the state. State government will identify the beneficiary. State government will identify the beneficiary and distribute food grains to the beneficiaries. This is how public distribution system in India will actually work out. Now, why do we require public distribution system? Because please understand, government in 2013-2014 introduced a system called as the National Food Security Act, which is nothing but targeted distribution. Under National Food Security Act, government says 2/3 of total India's population, 2/3 of total India's population, that is basically the 2011 census population. Okay, 2011 population, 2/3 of total India's population will be covered under this, which is somewhere in the range of 80 to 81 crore people. 80 to 81 crore people. So out of this, 50% of the population in urban area will be covered, 75% of rural population will be covered. 50% from urban India, 75% from rural India. We had that doubt. Sir, why? Why 50 and 75? Why not equal? My dear, simple answer to that. Where do you think poor people are more in India? Where do you think people are more in India? Right? Do you think in rural India or urban India? It is rural India. Point number 2, the beneficiaries under this. The beneficiaries under this will have to be identified by the state government. Identify them. State government will identify the beneficiaries. Point number 3, the beneficiaries are further divided into two parts. One is basically the priority households. Remember this carefully. One is priority households, PHH, priority households. Second one is called as Antyodaya households. One is priority households, the second one is Antyodaya households. Meaning what? Let me ask you a very simple question. Imagine there are two beneficiaries. One person is earning 10,000 rupees, right? 10,000 rupees per year, not month, per year. One person is earning 10,000 rupees per year and another person is earning, let's say, 1,000 rupees per year. Now, please answer to my question. Do you think it is fair for the government to distribute same quantity of food grains for both of them? Is it fair? Right? Does it make sense to you? Of course, Can I say people who are very poor, people, that is houses which are very poor, These are poor within the poor only. I hope you understand. These are poor within the poor. So poorest of the poor should be given more coverage. That is the reason poorest of the poor will be covered under one more scheme called as Antyodaya Anna Yojana. And if you are identified under Antyodaya Anna Yojana, 35 kgs per family, per house, per month will be provided to you. If you have a card, this is called as an Antyodaya card. If you have 35 kg, sorry, if you have a Antyodaya card per family, generally we assume family size of 5 people. So per family, 35 kgs of food grains are given per month. But if you're identified as a priority household, then per person, 5 kgs of food grains are provided. 5 kgs of food grain are provided. And right now, please remember this year, these food grains, either you are a PHH or AAY, these are provided currently at free of a cost. Please remember this point. Currently, free of a cost. For this year, Government of India says, we will provide these food grains free of a cost. Okay. Now, it will also propose, right, under NFSA, it will also propose Aadhaar. It proposes utilization of Aadhaar. It proposes utilization of ICT, information communication technology, etc., etc. All these are basically the points. Apart from this, there is a grievance redressal mechanism. Grievance redressal means if you have any kind of a complaint, if you're unhappy with certain services provided by the ration agency, etc. So there is a grievance redressal mechanism at the state level, at the district level. Officers are appointed. If you have any complaints, you can file with these authorities. Okay, done. Right. That is basically concept of NFSA, National Food Security Act. Sir, it is 5 kg per person, not 35, I think. My dear, I did not say 35 kg per person. I said 35 kg per month for a family. Listen, that's the reason you will have to listen carefully. Right? If you don't trust me, this is the picture I've taken from the Department of Food and Public Distribution. Have a look at it. Antyodaya Anna Yojana, it is 35 kgs per family per month. For priority household, it is 5 kgs per person per month. Okay. Now, let me add one current affairs point here. One nation, one ration card. Before you start asking what is the long form, please look at the long form here. One nation, one ration card. Now, what is this one nation, one ration card? In simple terms, it will provide a portability of ration cards. It will provide a portability of ration cards. Now, what is this portability? Point number one, please do let me know. Under NFSA, the beneficiaries are identified by the respective state governments. Is the point one? All of you okay with this point number one? Under point number one, the beneficiaries under NFSA are identified by the state governments. Now imagine I'm a beneficiary along with my family. Okay. For my family, which has let's say 5 people, one ration card has been issued. I will take this ration card to the ration shop and they will give me 5 into 5, 25 kgs. Now what if I will move from state 1 to state 2 in search of livelihood? I'm a migrant labor. I will move from state 1 to state 2, right, in search of livelihood. Now please think of it now. I have moved to another state. Am I a beneficiary in the second state? Think of it. Am I a beneficiary in the second state? No, because the state government too has identified their own beneficiaries. I'm a beneficiary in the state one, but not in the second state. So is there a danger that I may not get food grains where I'm staying? Yes. So Government of India says, don't worry, we will introduce a new concept. We'll introduce a new concept. What is the new concept? One nation, one ration card. What happens under ONORC? Simple idea. I will go to the ration shop. The picture is given here. Please have a look at it. I will go to the ration shop. I will provide my thumbprint. I will simply provide my thumbprint, right, in the second state now. Now the system will say I'm a beneficiary. Whether I'm in a state 1, state 2, doesn't matter. The system shows that I'm a beneficiary under National Food Security Act. So in the second state, despite though I'm not a beneficiary in the second state, in the second state, I will provide my thumbprint. I will authenticate myself. I will prove that I'm a beneficiary so that even in the second state, I will get 5 kgs of food grains. All of you are okay with this? Through this, can I say government is promoting portability of ration cards? Whether you're a beneficiary in state 1, state 2, district 1 or district 2, doesn't matter. As long as you're a beneficiary, provide your thumbprint, prove that you're a beneficiary and keep taking food grains. That is one nation, one ration card. It is being implemented by the Department of Food and Public Distribution. Please remember, question can be asked on this. Right? This can be asked in UPSC, which department is the nodal authority can be asked. Please remember this. There are two systems which are actually used. There are two portals. What are the two portals? One is called as the IMPDS, Integrated Management of Public Distribution System, and second one is called as Anna Vitran Portal. Anna Vitran Portal. Integrated Management of Public Distribution System. It will record all the interstate transactions. All the interstate transactions are kept in this portal. Why, sir? What is the logic? Please tell me, if you are the Prime Minister, don't you want to find out because of migrant labor, how much additional food grains would be required in the state of Gujarat, in the state of Maharashtra, in the state of, let's say Karnataka, Tamil Nadu? So you need a data, you need a set of data to find out, okay, generally this is the demand in the state of Tamil Nadu because of migrant labor. This is the demand, right, from this state because of migrant labor, etc., etc. So have a look at this. That is the reason we have two systems. One is you maintain transactions of interstate so that you can plan accordingly. And second one, you have Anna Vitran, which will manage or which will hold transactions of all the intrastate. Intra means within the same state, whether it could be within the same district or different districts, etc., etc. Okay, done. Right. So all of these are the importance of ONORC. And I am unable to understand why you people are not able to understand what I'm explaining here. There are two students who are asking me, sir, if labor will move from one state to another state, how will the other state come to know how much food grains they will have to store? My dear, then what is the use of IMPDS? I don't know what you're listening to. I don't know what you're looking at. Then tell me, what is the use of IMPDS for you? I was discussing the same thing. IMPDS will give you data regarding how much is interstate demand. So can you not plan according to that? Can you not plan according to that? Okay. Sir, but some people who are not beneficial are also taking. Where is that example? You tell me. Where is that example? You tell me. Right? Where can you say some people who are not beneficiaries are taking? If somebody is giving you without authenticating, if there is a ration shop, if they are giving you without taking your authentication, then it is their fault. They are not supposed to do that. But I don't know, where have you seen it? No, it doesn't happen. But you are saying it happens, sir. Tell me the examples. Okay, done. This is how, right, technology is being used now. Let me add one more technology. Let me add one more technology here. Have you heard of food grain ATMs? Let me know. This is right, introduced in recent times. There's a concept of food grain ATMs. What is this idea of a food grain ATM? Imagine you'll go to a ration shop. Imagine you'll go to a ration shop. What is the guarantee that the owner there will give you 5 kgs of food grains? What if he shows you a 5 kg weight, but actually it is not 5 kg weight, it is 4 kg weight. So is there a scope of customers, that is beneficiaries, right? Being cheated there, underweighing, right? They might simply have a weight of 4 kg, but they'll say this is 5 kg. They will wait and give it to you. So one, lines could be a problem. Line, right? The queue in front of the shop could be a problem. Second, weighing, correct weighing is also a problem. So now Government of India says we'll introduce a new system called as food grain ATM. In food grain ATM, what happens? There is a machine. Okay, there is a machine. Food grains are filled in the machine, just like the ATM, money ATM. So food grains are already there. If you are a beneficiary, you will have to go. There is a panel. Enter your Aadhaar number. Authenticate your fingerprint. Right? There is a scanner. Authenticate your fingerprint. Now automatically the machine will come to know that you are a beneficiary, and from the bottom, right, there's an opening here. 5 kgs of food grains will be dispensed. 5 kgs of food grains will be released from the machine. Right? So you take a bag, fill the bag with 5 kgs and go home. So now tell me, is there a problem of underweighing here in the food grain ATM? Let me know. Is there a problem of underweighing? Underweighing problem will not happen because it is
হ্যাঁ
a
স্যার আমি
machine.
ডিবিটি কনসালটেন্ট সেম
Second,
ওই অবস্থা
right? Do you think there will be long
স্যার
queues in
আমাদের
front
তো
of
ওই
these machines?
ডেঙ্গুর
No,
টেমিফোজ
machines.
মানে
Just like
লিকুইডটা বাকি
water
ছিল,
ATM,
তো
cash
লিকুইডটা
ATM, now we are going to
আপনার
install food grain
ইয়েতে
ATM
ব্লকে কিছুক্ষণের
nearby the
মধ্যে
ration
ঢুকবে, কিছুক্ষণ
shops.
বলতে এখনো
Right?
3-4
So
ঘন্টা
this
লাগবে।
is a
তো স্যার
proposal.
একটু
Some
ওই
of the states we are doing
টেমিফোজের
it,
ইয়েটা
but it will take time to
ড্রামগুলো একটু
extend
স্যার
it
লেবার দিয়ে একটু নামিয়ে
to
দেবেন।
whole of India. Now, last point for today.
ঠিক
After
আছে
this, we'll take questions. Concept of food subsidy. Last point today. Okay. After this, we'll take up questions. What is food subsidy? There is a term called as economic cost of food grains. There is a term called as economic cost of food grains. What is this economic cost? How much is the money that is spent by the government to purchase and distribute food grains? Very simple. I'll repeat it again. How much is the money spent by the government to procure and distribute food grains? It is called as economic cost of food grains. So what do you mean by money spent for procurement and distribution? Follow the sequence very carefully here. Step number one, can I say Food Corporation of India will go to the market,
হ্যাঁ স্যার আমি
purchase of food
ডিবিটি
grains.
কনসালটেন্ট সিএমও অফিস থেকে।
Anybody has a problem with this?
হ্যাঁ স্যার বলছি যে এর আগে
Step number one, Food Corporation of India will go to the market and purchase food grains. And when they purchase food grains, what is the
আজকে
price
স্যার
that they
আপনার
will
ব্লকে
pay?
টেম্পোজ
They
গুলো
will
পাঠিয়ে
pay.
দেওয়া
If
হয়েছে, গাড়ি
MSP
থেকে
is there,
প্লিজ স্যার
they'll pay
লেবার।
only MSP. But apart from MSP, what if the state government is paying bonus? So is it not the price also incurred for procurement? So can I call this as procurement cost? Let me know. Can I call this as procurement cost? Bonus plus MSP. Can I call this as procurement cost? But please think of it. Once you have paid money, does it mean that food grains are there in the warehouse? Please think of it. You're there in the market now. You pay money to the farmer. Does it mean food grains are there in the warehouse? No. After this, will you not bag the food grains? Bags, and you will fill like the jute bags. Charges will be there.
না ম্যাম আমি ডিবিটি কনসালটেন্ট বলছি স্যার।
Bag the
হ্যাঁ বুঝলাম, ওই আমাদের
So
এসবিএল
labor
আর
charges will
ফর্মগুলো তো
also
চলে
be
গেছে,
there.
টেমিফোজটা বাকি
Correct?
ছিল।
Labor charges will also be there.
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম আজকে
And you're buying all of these food grains in a market. We'll discuss this tomorrow. Have patience. You'll buy all of these food grains in the market, which is called as a mandi. So mandi charges will also be there. Again, I purchase all these food grains in the mandi, right? You'll have to pay certain charges because you are purchasing, you are using infrastructure in a mandi, which is called as mandi charges. So what is this mandi? Who controls mandi? You'll understand that tomorrow. Have patience. So I will call these as procurement incidentals. I will call these as procurement incidentals. It is not yet over. Have patience. Many of you are saying, where is this? Where is that? All of that will come. Now, can I say, you will move the food grains to go down or warehouse. You will move the food grains into the go down or warehouse, which means again you will incur lot of expenditure here also. Now, when you keep it in a warehouse, please tell me, electricity, you will have to pay bills for it. You will have to appoint certain security people. That also there will be a charge, right? Pest attack will happen, rodents attack will happen. You will have to protect from the rodent attack. You will have to maintain certain temperature. So all of this, can I say again, there are charges for all of this. Storage charge, you will move these right, you will move these food grains to respective state, let's say, and you will ask a certain person to distribute all of these food grain. Can I say there also certain charges will be incurred? Can I call this as distribution charges? Cost of food grains. This is called as economic cost of food grains. Point number one. Point number two. Right? Point number two. Whatever government will procure, all of this government doesn't distribute. I'll repeat the statement. Whatever government will procure, immediately all of it, government will not distribute it. Why? There is a concept called as buffer stock. There is a concept called as a buffer stock. What is this buffer stock? Buffer stocks are additional quantity of food grains, extra food grains are purchased and stored by the government. They will not distribute it immediately. For example, imagine this month the government requires 80 tons of rice. Imagine this month the government requires 80 tons of rice for distribution. Government doesn't procure 80 tons. They will procure extra 20 tons. And they will call this 20 tons as buffer. Why? Think of this. If government doesn't store any amount of food grains today, what if after 2 months there is a floods and supply of rice is very less? Don't you think market prices will start shooting up? Correct? It is happening now. You should read newspaper precisely for this. It is happening right now. Right? Suddenly, if there is an earthquake, excess of floods, rainfall is very low, so supply will become very less. So at that point of time, government says, I will use the buffer stock to supply to the market and reduce the prices. So understand this very carefully. Now can I simply say, government will purchase food grains for distribution purposes, plus government will purchase food grains to hold buffer stock. All of you okay with this? I repeat the statement. Government will purchase food grains for distribution plus for buffer stock. So now food subsidy is basically nothing but how much is the subsidy given by the government when they distribute the food grains, plus how much is the expenditure by the government when they maintain buffer stock. Meaning what, sir? Imagine, let me take a very simple example. Imagine economic cost of food grain for 1 kg of rice, it is 40 rupees. I repeat, economic cost of food grains for 1 kg of rice is 40. What if government will sell it to you at 3 rupees? Can I say government is giving you a subsidy of 37 rupees? Anybody has a difficulty, please do let me know. I'll repeat the statement. Imagine economic cost of food grains is 40. They will give it to you, they will sell it to you at 3 rupees. Say subsidy is 37. So how much is the food subsidy on food grains which are issued to the beneficiaries? Why I am taking number 3 here? Until last year, please remember this. Until last year, this is the last point. Okay. Until last year, under NFSA, rice was given to the beneficiary, sold to the beneficiary at 3 rupees per kg. Wheat was sold to the beneficiary at 2 rupees per kg. Coarse grains were sold to the beneficiary at 1 rupee per kg. But this year, they are not selling at these prices, they are selling it at 0 rupee. Which means in case of food subsidy now, how do you calculate it? The economic cost of food grains for NFSA plus buffer stock cost. All of it okay? This year, I repeat, this year, right, there is no price collected. Government will give it free of a cost to you. Nothing will be charged to you, which means 0 rupee. Means, right, means economic cost of food grain is nothing but food subsidy itself. All of it okay? Right, that is a subsidy incurred under NFSA plus buffer stock. Whatever is the expenditure on the buffer stock. This is how food subsidy will be calculated now. Can we go forward now? Can we go forward? Okay, so that is the end of the discussion that I wanted to have with you people for today. Tomorrow we will continue. Tomorrow we'll continue. So NFSA is over, right? Public distribution system, right? What is the use of it? Who will identify how many beneficiaries are there, etc., etc. Food grade ATM, one nation, one ration card, and a food subsidy. Right? Tomorrow we'll continue from the next slide. Start answering the questions. Start solving the questions. Okay, 54% have answered correctly. It should be higher, no? The price of any currency in international market is decided by World Bank. Correct? No. World Bank does not participate. Demand for goods and services provided by the country concerned? Yes. Stability of the government of the concerned country? Yes. Economic potential of the country? No, potential does not attract investments. What is the performance will attract the investment? For example, please do let me know. Today, looking at Sri Lanka, will you invest in Sri Lanka based on current situation or the future potential? Think of it, right? Don't you think most of you will simply say, sir, right, Sri Lanka or let's say Pakistan for that matter, right? Many of you again, some of you are saying future potential. My dear, any guarantee how much will be the growth in Sri Lanka after 1 year? Those who are saying, sir, I will look at future potential. Please tell me, any guarantee how much will be the GDP growth rate of Sri Lanka after 2 years? Can you guarantee it will be out of the problem? If you say yes, sir, Sri Lanka it's possible, then I'll ask you about Pakistan. Any guarantee? No, you cannot guarantee. What is guaranteed is what is the growth currently, right? What is the performance currently, not about the future, right? So economic potential doesn't attract. It is actually the current performance. So 2 and 3 are correct. Right option will be option B, 2 and 3 only. Okay, 60% have answered correctly. Which of the following constitutes a capital account? Foreign loans, example ECB, part of capital or current? Capital account. Foreign direct investment, straightforward, capital account. Private remittances are part of current account, not capital account. Portfolio investment. If you have seen the balance of payment picture that I've given to you, right at the bottom part, I've written capital account, FDI, FPI, etc. I've not discussed FDI. I know that. Don't tell me about that. But I've given that. So portfolio investment is also part of capital account. And many of you are trying to remind me I've not discussed FDI, FPI, etc. We'll discuss it. Right? There are a couple of more classes. We'll cover all of it. Please have patience. So right option for the question will be option B, 1, 2, and 4. Okay, right. 78% have answered correctly. The balance of payments of a country is a systematic record of all import and export transactions of a country during a given period, normally year. This is correct. Import and export transactions. They're not saying imports and exports. They're saying any transaction that will lead to inflow of dollars into India and outflow of dollars from India. That's correct. But let me eliminate the remaining. Goods exported from a country during a year. Please tell me, is it balance of payment? If I export goods from India, is it balance of payment? No, it is part of balance of payment. It is just a part of balance of payment. Right? So B is wrong. Economic transaction between the government of one country to another. My dear, what about ECB? Tell me. Many of you are asking why not C? You tell me why should you choose EC? Why should you choose C? Do you think balance of payment is a transaction between one government with another government? I think no, please think before asking me this question or even answering this question in the UPSC. Why should it be C? Do you think transaction between government of India and government of USA is balance of payment? No. Right? What about imports? What about exports? What about remittances? What about investment income? Where is all that presented? C is wrong. Part of the transaction, not the complete balance of payment. Capital movements from one country to another country. It is talking about FDI, FPI. What about remittances? What about goods? What about services? All of that is not covered here. So the right option is option A, all the import and export transactions. Okay. Right, 46% have answered correctly, but I believe some of you would have made a mistake by not reading the statement correctly. Which of the following are the contributors for the decline of current account deficit? For the decline in current account deficit, restriction on non-essential imports. If there is a right, if there is a restriction on non-essential imports, will the CAD come down or not? Imports will come down, automatically CAD will also be controlled. First one is correct. Export demand slowdown. If exports will start slowing down, which means, right, the amount of dollars you will receive will go below or will go lesser. And when this will go below like this, when it will fall, current account deficit will widen. So second cannot be the answer. Increase in exports. If you increase exports, you will receive more dollars, current account deficit will decline. So third one is correct, first one is correct. Right option will be option A, only 1 and 3.
Okay.
Okay. 75% have answered correctly. I'm happy. Convertibility of the rupee implies what? Being able to convert rupee notes into gold. No, that is not convertibility. Did we discuss the concept of convertibility? Let me know. Did we discuss the concept of convertibility? That is how freely you are able to convert your domestic currency into foreign and vice versa. Allowing the value of rupee to be fixed by market forces. That is floating exchange rate. Freely permitting the conversion of rupee to other major currencies and vice versa. Right option is option C here. Okay. Done? Okay. Next one. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll stop the discussion today here. We'll stop the discussion today here. We'll discuss it later. Don't worry. We'll discuss it. One descriptive question is also there. We'll discuss it later. Done. Okay. So